and welcome back to my channel. Today we're back with another Tim Burton inspired recipe from the book The Nightmare Before Dinner. If this is the first video you're watching, that's actually the third one I'm making. So if you want to see the ones before this one, I'm gonna tag them up here. We have a cocktail and a vegan recipe already done. The Nightmare Before Dinner is a cookbook from a restaurant in New York that it's called the Beetle House. The bar is Tim Burton inspired. All the food and the dishes are called with Tim Burton movies and characters' names. And there's even people dressed up as Tim Burton's characters. And I went to the New York one, but they do have one in LA now. And today we're gonna be making a cake, which is called the Red Velvet Midnight Espresso Cake. I'm also gonna leave the link of the cookbook down below in case if you wanna check it out or buy it or something. And yeah, I'm making a cake because it was my boyfriend's birthday last week, and today we're throwing an online party because we are self-isolating in London. Yeah, at least we're gonna have a cake. So let's get started. We're gonna be making the red velvet cake, then we're gonna be making a raspberry jam to put inside. We're gonna be making the candy shards and just some ganache to cover the cake. So let's start with the cake. Okay, so first we need to melt the chocolate. I'm gonna melt it in the microwave, but you need to be really careful because it's super easy to go from melting it to burn it. If you're gonna do it in the microwave, do it from 30 seconds to 30 seconds. Be really careful. I'm gonna use a little bit of the butter to put in my container where I'm gonna be baking the cake so it doesn't stick. That's ready. Yeah, I do not have like a proper cake container to make it, but that will do. And I'm also preheating the oven at 180 so it's ready by the time we need to cook it. And it's only the two of us, so I'm doing half of the quantities you need for a cake because I think that's enough. And here we have our chocolate. It still has a little bit of pieces, but I'm gonna stir it and see if it ends up combining. And now in one container I'm gonna put the dry ingredients, which is our flour. Here I have 3/4 cups of light brown sugar and 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. And now a little bit of salt and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm gonna stir this all to mix it. I'm a disaster because the sugar is meant to go with the eggs. There's nothing I can do about it now because I already mixed it. I used to bake a lot of cakes, like seriously, I would do a lot of birthday cakes. If I find them, I'm gonna put some photos of the cakes that I used to bake. And now I don't bake anymore because I don't have the utensils here in London. And yeah, I've lost a lot of practice because one of the basics is that the eggs, the butter and the sugar is the first things that you mix. We're gonna put the egg, our butter. We'll also be putting our vanilla, obviously the sugar that I missed, and our espresso. Let's mix this. Now I'm gonna start adding the melted chocolate. And now we're gonna start adding flour. So you're also supposed to put some buttermilk, but I don't have any. And I thought that if it was too thick, maybe I would add a tiny bit of milk. So I think I'm gonna just add a tiny bit and we're gonna be good. It looks super good and it smells amazing. So this is ready and we're gonna put it in the oven 180 for about half an hour and then we'll check how it's doing. So now, while that is in the oven, we want to prepare the rest of the things. So first of all, we're gonna do the sugar crystal shards. We're gonna put 1 cup of water and 1.5 cups of sugar, and we're gonna let it boil at medium heat. So it's gonna take a while until it boils, and that's gonna help the sugar dissolve. And then when it's boiling, we need to keep waiting. If you have a thermometer, the sugar needs to reach a temperature of 150 degrees. But if not, because I don't have any, when the bubbles start being bigger, that's when it's gonna be done. And that's when we're gonna be adding our food coloring, which we're using red obviously. And then we're gonna transfer that into a pan. Please do not use anything that's glass, like any glass containers to put that mixture on, because it can break it because it's boiling. I just took the tray from the oven and put some kitchen foil and I put it on top of it. And now we're gonna need to let it rest for about an hour, or at least until it's completely cold. We also need to make our raspberry jam. I'm gonna use the pan where I did the sugars, and we're gonna add a little bit of water. I added some syrup, and then 1 cup of raspberries, or 2 cups, as much as you want. And we're gonna let that boil. Just by boiling, the raspberries are gonna melt and the jam is gonna start forming. And you can also add some cornstarch. I forgot to add it before, so I added it at the end. But yeah, you can put some tablespoons of cornstarch or jelly or anything that you would like to make it a little bit more firm. And now they are already cold. We have our raspberry jam. You can always like strain it so it doesn't have the seeds. So that's not exactly how I expected this to turn out. So I'm gonna start breaking it. Okay, it breaks like candy. Maybe I had to boil it for longer, I'm not sure, but it's good enough for the purpose that it's meant to have. So our cake is ready and it's aside, it's cooling down because we need it cold to like build it. So we're gonna prepare the ganache. So in here I have some chocolate, and then we're gonna put some heavy cream. Actually mine is soya. You should heat this cream up, so I'm gonna again do it in the microwave, but I don't think we want it to boil, just to be really hot, because that's what's gonna melt our chocolate. So we're gonna throw in our milk. We need to give it some time, and it's already getting there. I'm making you a cake.
Yes.
Okay, so our ganache is ready too. Thanks. So as you can see, I made it pretty small, so you should cut it in half and fill it in the middle, but I'm gonna cut it here. So we want to put our jam inside. The way to do this is to put it on a baking. Yeah. So that's how you're meant to do it, so you don't lose any of the chocolate.
What?
Could be more liquid, but... And now we're gonna stack these coins here. You wanna help me? You can add some extra food coloring. That's gonna make them a little bit more red. So that's it for today's video. I hope you like it. I'm enjoying a lot these Tim Burton inspired recipes, so you can leave a comment down below saying which other movie would you like me to do some inspired recipes from. And with that said, we're gonna go eat this cake. Subscribe if you want to see more, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram. See you in the next one.